All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing his truth and sincerity. And what I have here is a new brain implant begins human trials. And apparently Elon Musk is doing this, but they already had this thing as far as the RFID, which is the MOTB, as a thing going on prior. We already found out they already have it in New Zealand and some parts of America. And for what it looks like is they trying to update this RFID, as they would call it a different name, into something of more what they want. Because I wouldn't be surprised, because if this is already done in New Zealand, it's probably already done, but it's probably just a test run. So they want to bump it up some more. I'm gonna play at least 2 minutes of this just to get to the point. Let's see. I'm gonna start here.
Elon Musk's brain implant company Neuralink is the billionaire entrepreneur's venture into an experimental medical industry known as brain-computer interface, or BCI. And in the 6 years since Neuralink was founded, there has been massive progress generated in the field of BCI. Some of that coming from Neuralink themselves, with their work implanting devices into pigs and monkeys, including one now infamous monkey who can play Pong using nothing but his thoughts thanks to the digital telepathy enabled by BCI technology. And
so now what you're seeing is they actually showing the demonstrations of how this works, that you can go further than just the idea of it being able to just have a credit card implanted in your skin just to unlock certain doors and everything. No, they actually are showing that you can actually control certain things electronically with just your mind, or any other thing they want to put out here. But this is what they've been doing. This is what they trying to get our people into, to really get the whole world, because these devils can't get enough. But this is the games they be playing with us. So I'm gonna get this scripture, which is Revelations 13:16. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And from the picture that I seen just before watching this, they actually had one implanted. It would just literally spread the hair. You can see an open area in the person's head with uh, a chip sticking out of it. It's going to show further in. But you see these devils are experimenting on us, trying to have that control to say that we have the Lord's people. They don't really care about the other people. We just always been the enemies with, as they saying, they always been enemies with the Israelites. That's what they know, we're coming back in our rightful rulership, and they don't like that. They want to be the rightful rulership, but they don't understand that that fate is already sealed.
now, the next generation of brain-computer interface is going to human trials for the first time in the United States.
It's not the first time, as well. It's not the first time as far as I've been hearing reports, but as you can see in this part right here, they have a certain area they want to directly control a part of that brain, and they feel that's the easiest place to actually get it.
However, the first BCI procedure to be approved by the FDA is not going to be a Neuralink. It's a device called the Stentrode from a competing private company called Synchron. And knowing our usual audience, some of you might find that news upsetting. But I'm going to quickly turn that around and say that this is a great thing for literally everyone, Neuralink and Elon Musk included, because competition is the best thing to push an industry forward. Strong competition and a variety of products on the market will accelerate innovation and new discoveries. So, let's get into the current state of the BCI industry and how Neuralink fits into the broader picture. So, obviously, when Neuralink was founded in 2016, there was a ton of fanfare and media attention around the company, and that was due entirely to the person behind the project, Elon Musk. The news lit up with stories about how Elon Musk was going to put implants in people's brains that would cure all diseases, make you smarter, let you control a computer with your brain, and even interface with an artificial intelligence to become a human-machine hybrid super being. It was all a bit extra, but that's just how things go with Elon. He doesn't...
You see, I'm gonna stop it right there because this is more than just Elon. This is how these devils roll, and the fact that they want to throw in the smooth words, they just make it seem like it's all good. You can prevent diseases or be immune to them. You could be a superhuman, which is not actually what they want you to be, but you're going to be a superhuman in their network. And those are all the smooth things that's going to captivate our people, or pretty much a lot of people. You got a lot of people in the comment board saying that I'm scared, or this should be outlawed, or this shouldn't be a thing, and a lot of people's angry about it. But a lot of people's going to crack under that. A lot of people that like take back to 2020 when this virus hit and they came out with the poking stick. A lot of people said they wasn't going to take that sucker, but due to them being threatened to have their jobs taken away or their homes, a lot of people cracked under that, and a lot more people are going to crack under this when they start implementing it. Because when it first comes out, it's going to start off as like a leisurely thing. It's going to be like something you can get if you want, because you got some. I've seen some people in the comment boards actually want this because they actually believe that they believe all these things that these devils tell them. But once it starts getting implemented and actually be like, hey, you can't, you won't be able to work, you'll lose your job, your house, you'll be forced not to be around people, you'll be isolated, or you probably even be put to death. Then yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people signing up for that stuff. You're gonna crack their spirit just by taking away what they love, you could take them away from their families. You would take all the lively stuff. People look forward under that. And then you get a lot of people like, hey, because like even when that when a lot of people start cracking under the whole virus thing, and to being forced to, well, quote unquote forced to take that poking stick, you got a lot of people coming at us saying that, oh, you're making the world unsafe because of this and that. But those are the same people that are saying they wasn't going to take it. Guess how much more when they implement this MOTB? Because hell, a lot of people's going to be after us. A lot of people's going to hate us. They're going to call us terrorists and all this other stuff. They're even going to call the people that's, well, not with doing this truth. They're going to call them terrorists because you got a lot of, you got some other people that will full-heartedly not take it, is willing to lose their stuff and everything. But this is Psalms 10:2. It says, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor," and that's mostly going to our people. I mean, yeah, it goes. You can equate it to Esau because he's persecuting everybody. But when it comes to our own people, yeah, they'll be the first ones that persecute us even more, because they love their master Esau, even though they claim they hate the government and all this other stuff. But they'll be the same ones doing what the government tell them. And when they start putting up posters saying, if you know anybody that doesn't have this MOTB, report them to us. And best believe our people is the first one to do it. They'll be the first ones to tell who doesn't have it. And they, especially motherfuckers that live in the hood, their famous line is "Don't rat," but they'll be the same ones ratting for their own master. But let me keep reading. It says, "Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined," and that's the devices that have the devices that they have imagined is this place, because with this place comes everything in the cesspool of it. Your adultery, your the way of living, and all this other stuff. But the way of living is that when it is that device that they taken, and ultimately when this place gets destroyed by missiles, because Esau is going to be taken in by the devices that they've imagined, which is also the missiles. When this place is blown, is getting hit with the missiles, a lot of people can get it, but they're going to be really taken with the device of this place, which is that MOTB. Because the moment they fuck up or they try to come against the system, that's it for them. But let's keep going with this.
Have a filter. He just says all the wild, fantastical things that are in his brain, and the media reports it. So Elon Musk did not invent the brain-computer interface. It's been around for a surprisingly long time. The only problem is that between the year 2016 and the mid-90s, there's been virtually zero progress made at improving the methodology and implementation of BCI.
Which is technically right and wrong. What he's wrong on is they have not made any improvements. They've been working on this stuff, but it has been around since the mid-90s. It was officially brought out in 1983. But when it was started, it was started in 1948. That is when they started creating, when literally the start of when they was creating their RFID. And they started coming up with new ideas in 1963. And they be going forward with it until they officially brought it out in 1983. And then over time, they kept going on with it. They started working on how people's patterns work. Because again, they started with animals, then they start with us, and then they build from there, like they always do. How is it that every poking stick they come out with for any type of disease that you don't have yet, but it can occur, they got a poking stick for it. And then the first thing they say is it's been tested on animals, but then they give it to us. It's no different with this RFID. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." And so this is what they do. They practice on it. They keep working on it. They'll keep it undercover for a little bit. Then as they keep progressing, okay, we're gonna keep working on it. It's like what they do with the guns. Back then, the only way to really get a gun was through the military. Well, guess what? As guns kept progressing and they kept getting higher and higher with their technology of guns, they gave the backwater guns to civilians in stores. But now you got to have an ID with it, even though back then you didn't need an ID. You could just purchase it. But they had the backwater guns, your average pistols, your average shotguns, and all this other stuff. You can't carry a sawed-off shotgun, at least not out of the house. But they can make a nuke, but you can't have a nuke. Ain't that something? So anything they advance on, they're not gonna let the average person have, because why? If they decide to rise up and start shooting everything, guess what? They will have just as much as the upper hand as the military. That's why they would never. That's why the military would never sell a civilian a tank, a missile, or some type of better upgraded rocket launcher, even though you can sell a low graded rocket launcher. Why give your people the upper hand when you can stay 20 steps ahead of the people? So you notice there's a big difference in this play. This is 30:7. I'm sorry, this is Psalms 37:20. It says, "But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat lambs. They shall consume into smoke, shall they consume away." So this is what Esau's reward is going to be for all this stuff that he's done, because he wants to make all the high graded technology that he's using not only to corrupt us, to destroy us, but using actual nuclear weapons to destroy anything that gets in his path. Well, the Lord say he's going to use all that, and since you're going to be the fat lamb, all that fat is going to be consumed in that fire. And this land, this land is really like fat lambs, because everybody's drunk, eating off this place to the point it's obesity. That's how high the wickedness here is. This obesity of wickedness, and the Lord is going to trim that fat. I'm sorry, he's just gonna burn that fat away. He's not even trimming it. He's just gonna burn it away into smoke, because these devils are gonna receive that reward, and with this place being destroyed, he gets rewarded with shame that he failed because he tried to control us with this shit, a brain implant, poisoning the earth, the food system, us, but it wants to control us with more shit. He's got a lot to pay for, and we all know it. A lot of people's in denial about it, but guess what? Whether people like it or not, this devil's gonna pay for it. But that's all I have going to that. So, little one, this was edifying, and with that, shalom.